The man holding the gun is not angry. That's the part nobody tells you. You always imagine rage, screaming, chaos. But he's completely calm, and that is so much worse. He points at you specifically. Not the captain, not the engineer standing 2 feet to your left. You, he says one word, in English. Come, you have 17 seconds to decide whether your life is worth more than the answer to one question. Why does he know your name? You've been a marine systems engineer for 6 years. Rotterdam, Singapore, Lagos. The job takes you where the oil is, and the oil is always somewhere inconvenient. You earn €9,400 a month. You work 28 days on, 28 days off. You have a flat in Aberdeen and a gym bag. You never fully unpack. The Mount Fortunata is a 274-meter crude oil tanker, registered in Panama. You joined it in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, 11 days ago. Routine assignment. Hull integrity assessment. You've done it 40 times. The Gulf of Guinea logs more maritime kidnappings than any other stretch of water on Earth. You know this statistic. You filed it somewhere in your head, next to the fire drill procedures and the emergency radio frequencies. Information you carry but don't expect to use. The speedboat came from the south. No lights. 3 men visible, 2 more below deck. They were alongside in under 4 minutes. The crew has a protocol for this. Everyone knows it. Lock down, go to the citadel, wait for the naval response. You were on the exterior walkway, checking a weld joint when they came over the rail. There was no time for the citadel. They move you off the ship in under 8 minutes. Efficient, practiced. The kind of operation that has been run before, many times, by people who know exactly what they're doing. The speedboat smells of fuel and river water. Your wrists are zip-tied in front, not behind. You notice that hands in front means they want you functional. Hands behind means they want you contained. This is a distinction that will matter later. The Niger Delta opens up around you as the boat pushes inland. The creeks split into smaller creeks. The jungle closes in from both sides until the water is barely wider than the boat. GPS is useless in here. The Nigerian Navy knows it. That's why this place exists. You have a specific skill set. That's what you're running through. Sitting in the bow of this boat, spray hitting your face. Trying to stay logical, because logic is the only tool you have left. Marine systems engineering, hull analysis, structural diagnostics. You work for an oil infrastructure firm, whose clients include 3 of the largest extraction operations in the Delta. You are not a random crew member. You were selected. They bring you to a structure on stilts over the water. Corrugated iron roof, a generator, humming somewhere inside. A man is sitting at a plastic table with a printed document in front of him. It's your company's organizational chart. Your name is circled in blue ink. He speaks good English. He tells you this is not personal. He tells you his community has filed 17 legal complaints against your employer's pipeline operations. Since 2015, contaminated fishing water, crop failures, children with rashes that the company doctors diagnosed as unrelated to oil exposure. Every complaint was rejected. Every compensation claim was denied. He slides a satellite phone across the table. He tells you to call your head office. He tells you the number they need to hear is $2.4 million. He tells you they've done this before, and companies always pay. Eventually, you pick up the phone. Your hands are still zip-tied in front. You notice he never removed that zip tie. He wants you functional. You understood that from the boat. You are released on day 31. A negotiator from a London-based K&R firm, Kidnap and Ransom, a real industry, insured, invoiced. Operationally routine meets you at a riverbank checkpoint, 2 hours outside Port Harcourt. He has clean clothes and a protein bar. He debriefs you in a white Land Cruiser on the way to the airport. He takes notes on a laptop. His manner is the same as the man who took you. Calm, professional, unhurried. You fly home to Aberdeen. Your flat is exactly as you left it. Gym bag by the door, half unpacked. The company sends a letter 2 weeks later. It thanks you for your cooperation during a difficult situation. It informs you that a resolution was reached. It does not mention a figure. It invites you to contact HR regarding any support services you may require. You don't call HR. You sit at your kitchen table and think about the organizational chart with your name in blue ink. Printed out, filed, ready. Someone decided months ago that you were the right person to circle. Your company filed the paperwork that made you valuable. The same paperwork that denied 17 compensation claims made you worth $2.4 million to the people those claims were filed against. The Gulf of Guinea logs more maritime kidnappings than any other stretch of water on Earth. You know that statistic differently now. This story is fiction. But the Niger Delta kidnap economy is not. Between 2019 and 2023, the Gulf of Guinea accounted for over 90% of all maritime hostage takings. Globally, oil companies carry kidnap and ransom insurance as standard policy. The negotiators are real. The invoices are real. The 17 complaints that nobody answered, those are real too. If this one made you sit with something uncomfortable, that's the point. Drop a comment, subscribe. The next one is already written.